Hello! Today we're going to be discussing the protective layers of the brain. Now the brain is inside the skull, specifically within this cranium, the bones acting as a protective layer from the outside. If we were to crack this open, you see that on the inside, not only do we have a nice floor where the brain sits, we also have a series of openings or foramen where the various cranial nerves can exit, as well as the spinal cord down through there. So the brain just sits right inside of there, protected by this bony structure. Now, this is not the only protection that the brain has. If you were to remove the brain, both the brain and spinal cord are surrounded by 3 layers of connective tissue called the meninges. Now these meninges are the dura mater, the arachnoid mater, and the pia mater. So they all end in mater. That's how you know they're the 3 layers of meninges. So let's go through and chat about those. When you remove the brain, and by extension the spinal cord, we have a thick outer layer that is called the dura mater, very durable. Take our scalpel here, open that up. If you were to peel back this layer of dura mater, you'll then find a surface underneath that it looks like a little spider web with various thin fibers. That is called the arachnoid mater. If you were to then peel back that arachnoid mater, we get to the innermost layer. Very thin, very delicate. You can peel it away with your finger in real life, and this is called the pia mater. Very thin, very delicate. It is connective tissue, but it has an epithelial layer on the other side to be physically surrounding the brain. So we have our dura mater, our arachnoid mater, and our pia mater, going from superficial to deep. Now, because this is spiderwebby, this arachnoid mater, it forms this gap that we call the subarachnoid space. That's the gap where blood vessels are able to go through and provide nutrients to the brain. So the subarachnoid space, very important there in between the arachnoid mater and the pia mater. On the other hand, between the dura mater, the outside layer, and that arachnoid mater is called the subdural space. Now the subdural space is what we call a potential space. It isn't typically there in life, but with head trauma, a subdural hematoma, blood will flow into that area and separate those 2 layers. When you're no longer alive and there's no longer fluid in that area, those layers will separate. So dura mater, subdural, below the dura, arachnoid mater, subarachnoid below, and pia mater. Subarachnoid, very important when you're alive. Subdural, that's a potential space we don't typically want to see while you're still alive.